journey and camping is a great way to see all that Victoria has to offer, especially when you're with your family, pets included.
Sure is. Nothing beats a road trip, especially when you've got some good company to share it with.
Hey, did you just say I'm good company?
Yes, I did. You are good company, but you do snore a bit.
Firstly, that would be Darcy. And secondly, how do you know? Welcome to another episode of Pooches at Play. We've got a pooch-packed show for you ahead.
That's right, as well as some nutritional advice, travel tips, and so much more.
Get comfy and enjoy the show. He's looking a bit cold.
He's a little bit cold. I'm cold.
I'm cold too.
This week's breed in focus is the Labrador Retriever. Bred originally as gun dogs, today's Labrador is famous for its roles as assistance dogs for visually impaired and autistic people, detection and screening dogs, therapy dogs, and law enforcement dogs. There's not a lot they can't do. The Labrador Retriever is also the most popular breed of dog in many countries of the world.
That's right. And Ronnie here is a Pooches at Play regular. You might have seen him in previous series. And like most Labradors, he's loving, affectionate and patient in general. The Labrador is an excellent, reliable family pet. It's a wonderful companion and playmate for children and other dogs too.
Now, Labradors come in black, chocolate and yellow with a short, smooth, dense and straight coat, like Big Ron's wearing right here. With an expected lifespan of 10 to 13 years, I'm told their ideal weight is about 25 to 34 kgs. But as we all know, Labs love their food. So it's important to keep an eye on their diet and their weight.
That's right. And the Labrador is a really highly intelligent breed that's very willing and eager to please. But it is important that they get a daily brisk walk, jog or run and plenty of mental stimulation. That way it helps stop problematic behaviours. Scenting and retrieving games are ideal for these guys, as is teaching them some tricks and playing some brain games too. They do, though, need a confident and consistent handler to help ensure their boisterous personality doesn't become a bit too over-exaggerated and pushing. Another really big tip is to work on their control around food. We need to make sure that they don't mouth and bite, which they can do a little bit, so we want to make sure as a puppy that they don't do that, so otherwise it will lead to some oral-based behaviour problems in adult dogs.
Now, like Ron, they enjoy living inside with their family, but their exuberance and wagging tails means they can be overactive indoors, can't you? Having an average-sized yard can help get them outside, and it's good for playing some scenting and retrieving games. Now, I'm told they are an average shedder, but I suspect it might be a bit more than that.
Oh, yes, your magical
This young man is shedding so much of his magical fibres that I am just covered. So regular brushing of that dense undercoat can really help with that. Isn't that right, Ron?
Yeah, that's right. And Labradors can gain weight easily, so food should be measured carefully, particularly as they're predisposed to hip and elbow dysplasia. So you want to keep any extra weight off their joints and bones. They are also prone to allergies such as flea allergy dermatitis, environmental allergies like atopic dermatitis, ear infections, some ocular conditions including glaucoma and diseases affecting the retina. So to get a quote from Bow Wow Meow Pet Insurance specific to the Labrador breed or to cover your own dog for illness and injury, visit their website.
Also go to their website if you'd like to find out more about the Labrador and if it's compatible to your lifestyle. So that's the Bow Wow Meow breed selector that's on their website. Good boy.
That's right,
Oh.
and you're going to need a vacuum and one of those rolling things.
Oh, you're going to need an industrial vacuum.
Big Ron, I think I've got one of your hairs in my eye. Bringing a puppy home for the first time is exciting for everyone. It's also a crucial time for puppy socialisation because in the first 4 months of a puppy's life, everything they learn, it's known as the socialisation period, is retained for life, good or bad experiences. It's their foundation learning. So we want to make sure that we do it in a proper way so that they don't become frightened of humans or other things in the world around them. Usually a puppy will remain with its mother and litter mates up until the age of 8 weeks so that it can reach its full genetic potential. In other words, it can learn to be a dog. But when we get them home, we need to begin that puppy socialisation straight away. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. This means introducing them to all types of people, different sexes, tall, short, hats, glasses, workmen, anything they might have a reaction to as an adult dog. Different environments, different floors, skateboards, cars, wheels, all those things that we often see dogs having a trigger to. If we do it positively when they're young, then it creates that really good positive experience. It's also important to introduce them to new dogs as well as other puppies in a calm and safe environment so they have a really good association with meeting new dogs. Treats are a great way to create a positive association when you're doing these kind of interactions, and then also using them to reward calm behaviour and good responses from your puppy. We don't want them getting boisterous, getting over the top or being fearful. We want them to be nice and calm and happy with the process, and then we treat them to really further enhance that experience. As we don't want to overtreat our puppies or our dogs, then make sure their treats are no more than 10% of their total calorie intake. Also look for a treat that has meat as the first ingredient. For puppies, I love the VitaPet Milky treats because they also have calcium and natural preservatives too. They also break up really small, which is handy, and again, that helps us to make sure that we don't overtreat. It's also really important to get your puppy into puppy school as soon as possible so they're safely meeting other dogs, other puppies, and also different people. Visit the VitaPet website for more information about puppy care tips as well as their treat range.
Next stop on my trip through Gold Country is Bendigo. It's a beautiful place. It's about 100 miles from Melbourne, which is 160 k's. Towing the van, that makes it about 2 hours, but it's a beautiful couple of hours. You know, there's lots of rolling countryside, quaint little towns, and loads of wineries. Fortunately for me, I can't stop and do any tastings, but I think I might hit up happy hour when I get to the van park.
Like Wodonga, Bendigo is well known to the caravanning enthusiast. It's pretty much in the middle of Victoria, surrounded by rich agricultural land, and apart from its appeal to those interested in the gold rush, it's also a place for the architectural enthusiasts and anyone with a passion for Australian history. There's also lots of great places for grabbing a meal, or more importantly, taking your pooch for a stroll.
It's a bit avant-garde. This place is awesome. The architecture here is stunning, and it seems like around every corner there's a great photo to take or some statues. When you do upload your photos, make sure you tag "Go Make Some Memories." That way, other people can see what they're missing out on and also plan for their own holidays.
Now more than ever, it's a good idea to make a few memories in rural Victoria. Much of the state has copped a double hit, first with the fires and then coronavirus.
Make sure when you visit country towns across Victoria that you support small local businesses. Buy at the corner store or the bakery, and where possible, buy local produce that you can take back to the van park and cook there. I better get going. Hope it doesn't rain today.
Rain, hail or shine, Bendigo is a beautiful town. In poor weather, you can spend your time in the shops and galleries, or a pub. But when the sun's out, there's no better way to enjoy your days than exploring the parks and gardens the place is known for. There's plenty of spots to take your pooch, including Rosalind Park. And this place, the stunning Lake Waroona, where you'll also find the pet-friendly Boardwalk Cafe.
This place is so good for families. There's play areas, barbecues, wildlife. If only I had a wife and kids. You can see it all now. Morgan Jr. on the swings, Morgan III kicking a ball. Well, hopefully one day. Another great thing about this park is the time it takes to walk around the lake is the exact same amount of time it takes to drink a coffee. So by the time that you get back to where you started, you can jump over to the cafe, get some food and a second coffee to really kick off your morning or afternoon, depending on when you have your coffee. Thanks, guys. Good, man. How you guys doing? It's hard to believe, but 150 years ago, this was a dusty old mining site. But through grand design, amazing vision, and a whole lot of hard work, you have this beautiful lake that we see today. It's awesome.
Bendigo is so good for caravanners that the Caravan Industry Victoria hosts an annual expo here. Sounds like a great excuse for me to come back. In 2020, you can get your fix by checking out the virtual show that the Caravanning Industry Victoria is running. It's going to be awesome.
Going away camping with your dog is a great way to leave the hustle and bustle of city life behind you, check out the beautiful scenery and of course get some fresh air. It's even better when your dog can come along with you. If you are travelling around Victoria and you want to do some camping, there are plenty of free camping spots to check out, but do make sure that you know whether there are any restrictions, particularly in national parks, around having dogs, because often they're not allowed in there. Also, if you are staying in a caravan park that allows camping, just check if there's any restrictions around certain times of the year. You do also want to make sure that when you get there that you sweep the area. There are a lot of hazards on campgrounds that a lot of people don't think about. Things such as cliff faces, sharp rocks, lots of glass, snakes, ticks, all of those things. So you want to make sure that you keep your dog nice and safe. And the best way to do that is have them on a lead. Obviously in some places anyway, they're going to have to be on lead the whole time. But I also recommend at night time crating your dog, because that way not only are they safe from wandering into any harm, they're also safe from any other animals coming into the campground. So that's a big tip. You also want to do a good clean sweep of the area and make sure there's no hazards on the ground, particularly around the fires and also things like the barbecue areas where you might have a lot of fat drippings and toxic food like onions laying around. So again, that's why having them on a leash is really good to make sure they don't get into those areas. Make sure you're well prepared with water, food, any medical items they might need. Their flea and tick treatments are up to date, and also you've got everything that they might need to keep them safe and warm as well. Really important in Victoria. So always make sure that you know where the emergency centre is, or at least 2 vets, so that if in an emergency you need to get them help quickly, you know where they are. And remember, most importantly, they need to have an ID tag and their microchip up to date, so that if they do wander off, you can find them really easily. To find out more, don't forget to check out the Go Make Some Memories website and get plenty of tips there as well, and find some great places to go camping with your dog. Knowing how to take care of your dog from puppyhood through to its senior years is not always easy. That's why I wrote my new book, Eat, Play, Love Your Dog, to help. From food and nutrition to creating a bond, addressing common behaviour problems, to caring for them into their senior years. It's the ultimate guide for every dog owner. Available in all leading bookstores and pet stock nationally. Visit poochesatplay.com for details. Most of us would agree that dogs make us feel good, but is this just because we love them, or it's actually fact? Well, I'm here with Dr. Mel Starling, who's part of the research team at Sydney University that's looking into this, as well as the creature teacher. So Mel, how do dogs make us, I guess, emotionally feel?
Well, I mean, they're just so cute.
They are.
So I mean, we've got some evidence to suggest that they can ease loneliness for us,
Yes.
and that they can ease senses of stress. And we certainly enjoy spending time with them, and we wouldn't have them if they weren't.
No, that's right. They did make us feel
enjoyable.
good as well. And the research out there, I guess, must show that in terms of loneliness in particular, that they can help us.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of research, in fact some that we've done at the University of Sydney just recently with the Pause project, where they've looked at how people feel about their emotional states before and after they get a dog. So after they've adopted a dog, they do feel less lonely.
Okay. And what about the physical benefits? Because I've seen a few studies lately around the physical benefits of dogs as well, and what they can provide to us.
We do know that cardio patients, so people who have had issues with their hearts,
Yes.
they tend to recover quicker if
Okay.
they've got a dog, and less likely to have more problems. There is some evidence that we live longer,
Yes.
and it's probably about that side of it, about the heart and the cardio fitness and health
Yes.
more than anything.
And what about with older people as well, like elderly that are recovering in hospital? Was there some studies around that?
Yeah, there's been some work that has looked at that and suggests that they do recover more quickly if they've got a dog. There's also been a little bit of research on doctor visits, and people with dogs tend to visit their doctors less often than people that don't have dogs.
So is it just anecdotal, or, are there some studies that show physically our body does change?
There's just been some really preliminary work where we've looked at heart rate in particular, but other measures of stress, which is like heart rate variability and respiration rate, that kind of thing. And it does tend to improve when we're near our dog, and that's particularly if it's a dog that we really like and we're very familiar with. The really special thing that we love about dogs, that's just a little bit magical about them, is just how sociable they are. So it's really quite bizarre for an animal to be able to go into an environment with completely new people and new species that they're not even related to, and members of their own species that they're not related to, and somehow be able to get along with them.
Yes.
So that's really what's quite cool about dogs, is that they can do that where no other animal really can.
Yeah, right. And they just pick up on our every move, really, our every feeling too, don't they, through our body language?
Yeah, they are quite the expert on human body language.
Know us better than we know ourselves.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mel. Well, thanks for talking us through what most of us knew already, that dogs are good for us Whether it's proven or not, we know that, don't we, Darcy? Pet Stock Assist is providing assistance and therapy dogs to many people in need. So if you'd like to find out more about their work and the great work that they do of helping pets and people stay together, visit their website. Hey, you want to go for a run now, don't you? I'm reading your body language. Hey? Yeah? Our pets can suffer skin allergies and other conditions in the same way that us humans do. So the shampoo and conditioner you choose for your dog may either help or hinder the healing process. That's why the DGG Natural Hemp Oil range was developed to help keep your dog's skin healthy and their coat soft and shiny. Containing omega-6 fatty acid, hemp oil helps to soothe inflammation, calm rashes, eczema and treat dandruff, making the DGG Natural Hemp Oil shampoo and conditioning range the perfect choice to maintain and nourish your dog's skin and coat and provide relief to itchy, dry and irritated skin. Gentle enough to use as often as required, the products are pH balanced, paraben, soap and SLES free with natural botanicals. They are also 100% Australian made and cruelty free. By using the DGG Hemp Oil shampoo, conditioner and glossing spray as part of your dog's regular grooming regime, you can help to protect and heal your dog's skin while promoting a shiny and healthy coat. Look for the DGG grooming range at your local pet stock store or visit the DGG website to find the right product to suit your dog's individual skin and coat needs. Become a Petstock Rewards member and earn rewards on thousands of products and services store-wide. Receive great upfront benefits and look out for exclusive member opportunities. Terms and conditions apply. Visit the website for details. Would you like to win a Pawsome prize pack valued at over $2,500 for you and your pooch? One lucky winner will win this amazing prize, including a year's supply of VitaPet treats, Big Dog pet foods, NextGuard Spectra monthly chews, and DGG grooming products and tools, as well as a $250 Petstock gift card, Lexi and Me memory foam bed, and a brand new DGG wardrobe. Two runners-up will also receive a $500 VitaPets treat package. Simply tell us in 50 words or less how your furry friend shows their love for you. Visit the Pooches at Play website to enter. We all know how important food is for our dog's overall health. And Deb, you know better than anyone. Tell us the background to Sasha's story.
Well, when I first moved into my new home about 5 years ago, Sasha just started showing up and became besties with my old dog, Ellie. And when her family had another baby, they had even less time for her. And she was living outside with a bucket of food and a bucket of water.
And how did she come to you? What kind of condition?
She was really overweight. So she weighed about 32 kilos then. Like a barrel with legs, really. Little black barrel with legs, weren't you, Sash? She was having recurring yeast infections in her ears, so we were always at the vets. And one time when we were there, we discovered a tumour on her back leg, and I was told it was a really aggressive cancer. And unless I amputated her leg and gave her 6 months of chemotherapy, she'd be dead within 3 months.
Wow. How long ago was that?
That was over 3 years ago now.
Rightio. And so what was your approach?
Well, she was nearly 10 years old at the time, and I was choosing quality of life over quantity.
Yes.
So I contacted a canine nutritionist to see what I could do to support her system, to make her as healthy as possible. And they told me to put her on a bones and raw food diet, and it involved crushing up bones and weighing offal and adding in fruit and veg. And I'm like, oh, Sash, that's a bit difficult. So I Googled how can I do this and do it easily, and I came across the Big Dog product, the Bath Patties, and I found that I could get it at my local pet stock. So Sasha's been on it for 3 years now.
Oh, wow. And so the results obviously speak for themselves.
Yeah, she's only 25 kilos, really healthy, fit, still leaping up for her balls, and she hasn't had an ear infection in over 2.5 years.
Oh, wow. So not only has it appeared to give her a new lease of life, it's also helped with her ears and the yeast and stuff in there.
Everything, yes.
Oh, there you go. Well, wonderful. That's a beautiful story, and that's lovely to hear, Sasha. I'm glad that you're a big dog fan and that it's doing well for you. Thanks for sharing your story, Deb. Thanks,
You're
Sasha.
welcome.
And she runs and plays now with no worries, doesn't she?
Oh, she's still leaping in the air to catch the ball.
Oh, beautiful. Good girl. Well, if you'd like to find out more about a Big Dog raw food diet for your pet, visit their website.
Good heart health is just as important for dogs as it is for us humans. So, seeing as I'm no vet, I thought I'd come down and have a chat with Dr. Kate Adams about why it's so important that owners have a heart-to-heart about their dog's heart health with their vet. Kate, what do owners need to be aware of when it comes to the health of their dog's heart?
You know, it is estimated that around about 10% of all dogs are affected by heart disease, the most common of which is what they call mitral valve disease. And that's where the valve in the left side of the heart starts to degenerate and it doesn't actually work properly. It often leads to heart failure. Another less common but still very important cause of heart disease is heartworm infections. They're often very serious and they can lead to sudden death.
How do dogs get these diseases?
You know, we know that about 95% of them are acquired. They're not congenital, and that means they're not necessarily from birth. When it comes to mitral valve disease, we know that there's some kind of genetic component to that. So we know that it happens in older dogs and often smaller breed dogs. So things like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, some of the toy breeds like the poodles, for example, and the cavoodles. Heartworm disease, on the other hand, is an infectious condition. Dogs get it from infected mozzies, usually in the northern parts of Australia where it's a lot warmer, but it's actually been reported all over Australia.
So I've heard that the cure for heartworm is pretty risky as well.
When it comes to heartworm, prevention is definitely better than cure. The treatment for heartworm is often quite risky, it can have a lot of complications, and dogs can even need surgery to take out the worms from their hearts.
So how do we keep our dogs safe?
You know, when it comes to mitral valve disease, we don't really know what causes it, so we don't actually know how to prevent it. What we do know is that early treatment and early diagnosis is a really important step. So listening for that heart murmur and really getting your dog checked out by their vet every, say, 6 to 12 months and making sure that you're able to actually go and investigate and diagnose heart disease quickly. Heartworm disease, though, is entirely preventable. And I don't actually think that a lot of people actually know that it is entirely preventable and they're not aware of the risks associated with heartworms. A lot of the monthly chews have heartworm prevention in them, but if people aren't sure, go and speak to their vet.
Thanks, Kate. Sounds like having a heart-to-heart with your vet is a great idea. Check out the NextGuard Spectra website for their flea and parasite monthly chew that protects your dog from heartworm disease, as well as fleas, ticks, mites and intestinal worms. I've had a great time in Bendigo, but I'm looking forward to heading to Wodonga. The mighty Murray River is calling me.
I've had fun here too, but it is the end of an episode, so it's time to hit the road.
That's right. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it.
Make sure you tune in next week for more pooch fun, plenty of dog training tips and everything else.
See you guys.
See ya.